But what is a good, strong, loving family? We know it's important, at least we're told it is. Well, I know a guy who has studied this thing on many levels and has one family, a fabulous family of his own fine self. So he's got experience too. Regional Psychological Services. You find him, drjohnb.com on the web. His name's Dr. John Braccio. Doc, strong family, huh? Good morning.
Well, listen, good morning to you, my friend. And, I really don't think it's possible, Mike, to overestimate the importance of a strong and loving family and individual members.
Right.
My father would often say, la famiglia tutto. The family is everything. Okay? The family develops the emotional underpinnings of a person's personality and self-image. The strong family offers unconditional love and is the setting where there is modeling of good moral and spiritual behaviors and attitudes. Modeling is really a very powerful tool in the development of a person that is often not understood or appreciated for the power it has in a positive or negative way on a person. The person living in the strong and loving home has security in such an environment that continues day to day, week to week, month to month, year to year, and hopefully for a lifetime. In such an environment, a person learns how to respect others, respect self, be honest, use family teamwork, be able to successfully interact with others, and be successful with persons and situations beyond the family unit because of what they have learned and experienced in a strong and loving family relationship. Now, while the traditional nuclear family of mother, father, and children is what may come to mind for a person when they think of family, there are also other strong and loving family units that can be headed up by or include grandparents, step-parents, aunts, uncles, cousins, in-laws, and adopting persons, and really any combination that would make for a family where there's love and caring and persons could develop feelings of unconditional love, loyalty, empathy, perseverance, and team effort. Okay? There are also situations with persons who will take in others by just caring for them beyond what we would consider a structured family unit. They can include such persons as teachers, clergy, neighbors, employers, and coaches. My point is the definition of a strong and loving family in this current age can be multifaceted and not just include the traditional nuclear family. Now, persons who have grown up in a strong and loving family structure will tell you how helpful this has been for them, while those who did not will tell you the difficulties they had growing up without having the structure, the unconditional love and cohesiveness that comes from really living and growing up in this strong and loving family. So I think the point being here, Mike, is if you've grown up in an environment where you've been loved, you've been cared for, you've had security, that you're gonna just have a lot better opportunity to be successful, be happy, and just lead a happy life. Getting those years of being loved and cared for in an unconditional way really just pushes you forward, and just those early times of the loving, caring, that really helps you and can be really the baseline for future relationships. So it's really family is really a big deal. And I do say in this age, there are variations. But go ahead, what would you say, Mike?
Well, I don't. There you go. This age, but I wonder, was it ever perfect? I don't think it ever has.
Perfect is really the wrong word. I mean, I think we've always had grandparents and others involved. I just think when you're in an age where half marriages are going to end in divorce, that you're going to have a lot of blended families, and you're going to have different persons helping out and taking care of people. That's fine. I agree there's always been changes, but I think now my concern is really not that the nuclear family is obviously something where it's been traditional. It's been where you do have the children, the same parents that sired them. But that's a world that isn't always here now. So we adapt to where we are, okay? And so you do have step-parents, you have people coming in, you always have adoptions, you have grandparents, you have aunts, uncles, you have coaches, you have all kinds of people that can be involved in the process. The main thing is that the person can grow up in an environment where they are loved and they're cared for. And when you have that underpinning, it really makes a big difference in who you are, Mike.
I think it's important for, and tell me, I mean, you're the expert. Tell me about this, though. It seems to me, yeah, okay, we have the nuclear family, like you, nuclear family. I don't know which one it is, but anyway, like you mentioned,
That's mother, father,
we look at
children.
we look at stories like, I always go back to Father Knows Best we watched all of those episodes.
Sure.
But that's rare. I didn't know very many families growing up that were even like that. There were a few in our little town. But here's my point. Does it come down to more a child growing up needs to feel secure, loved, like you said, loved, and part of something bigger than themselves, something that, oh, this is the group I'm a part of. This is how we act. This is how life is done. So it could include grandma, uncles, could be a single mom and, her sisters and brothers. As long as they're loved and they know they're part of something bigger.
I think that's the world we're in. And I guess maybe always to some degree, but clearly we're at a time where there's a lot more blended family. People are coming in. But the important thing is, are you loved and cared for? Are you part of a unit? Is it something that where you feel secure? Talked to a lot of people over the years, in the road of life in my work, that never had that security growing up. They really didn't feel they were cared for. They might have gone from place to place. So there's kind of that hole, that insecurity that can be there, where the person who really has that strong, loving family, la famiglia, tutto, my dad's statement always was the importance of family. You knew there was something important there. And I think that's a critical thing. Not everybody has that. That's why I do think coaches and clergy and aunts, uncles, cousins, just persons that have an interest and care for you can have a big impact on your life. There's no question that the thing is that you belong, that there is a caring for you. And I'm less concerned on exactly who that is. The point is there needs to be people that really do care and love, and there are just too many people that don't have that, and they lose out on that, and they didn't model, they didn't see it modeled. Modeling,
oh boy, yeah.
We don't think about it. Who we see, who we interact with, how they treat us, that's modeling for how we're going to treat other people. If you're treated poorly, a lot of times people pick up those behaviors, think that's the way it's supposed to be. But no, basically, we really want to be loving, caring people, and we want to help produce and impact people that way, that they're going to have the same experiences. They want to create the same experiences they had when they were growing up. So that's why I think family, the unit, having this kinship, call it what you will, is really important. Very important in your self-esteem, your development, and where you're going to go as a person in relation to your family now and your future family.
We use that word a lot, modeling, and I want everybody to understand we're not talking about taking pictures of you for a magazine. No. Setting an example by just doing right, and because your kids are watching you even when you don't think you're being watched, which is kind of creepy.
Absolutely.
But it's what it is. And every boy, tell me this, in your studies, is it true, does every boy or most boys, is it just in them to want to be like their dad? And every girl, is she like daddy's little girl? Does she look at him as that first male figure in her life? And then she kind of holds everybody else up to that standard.
I think there's no question that fathers and sons, daughters and mothers, okay, or whatever combination, that's definitely critical, okay? Obviously both are. I think both examples are really important. But, I think we'd be foolish not to think that. All you have to do is look into it in terms of the activities, the things that a good share of boys like, and the things that they do when they're with a father or a male figure, and the same thing girls with mothers or female figures. Certainly this doesn't mean there isn't great love going all directions. But, I don't think there's any question the importance of modeling that men have on boys and women have on children. You certainly know that in terms of what you work with.
Oh, please. I grew up wanting to
having a male figure, sure.
I wanted to be my dad. An imperfect man, I will tell you that. But even with all his imperfections, I remember when I was like 13, getting to that point, I had a conversation with my best friend who was a year older than me, saying, when you start to see your dad's imperfections, I'm going like, wait, what? And we talked about this, but the thing is, I overlooked those. I just wanted to be the good side of them, right? And
Sure.
but there was that other side. I wanted to hold my liquor like my dad could, but I couldn't. So that was, I dropped the ball there, boy. But
these are good points, though. Fathers and sons, mothers and daughters, and the whole unit. But you'll find that children that haven't had good relationships with a same-sex parent, or that can be difficult for them in relationships. And anything within the relationships that isn't right, it can cause issues. The main thing is, again, regardless of gender, regardless of sex, regardless of what it might be, that are you loved? Are you cared for? Are you in an environment that you can see how to be a good human being, where you're helping other persons, and also where you can really develop yourself? That's where the family becomes really, really important, and certainly can become the underpinnings of really the person's personality, self-image, how they see themselves. It's really important. And by the way, not that all parents are perfect, like you say.
Oh, come on, please.
Nobody is perfect. Okay, this is Earth, remember. So, if a person's really trying to be good and do the right thing and try to help you in life, and if that's a parent or someone who's taken on that role, that makes your life a lot easier, Mike. And
it is.
If you're in a role that you think you're not helping as much as you can, hey, put on the big boy or big girl pants, and let's move forward and be better at what we're doing, or try to make ourselves even more effective. And
get some help. Get some help. You ever get a hold of Doc Braccio at Psychological Service Regional, and because you deal with this all the time, or even find a parent who is doing it the way you think it ought to be done. You're going, boy, I wish I could be like that person. Well, hang out with them and learn.
Absolutely.
Doc, I gotta go, man.
Mike.
Yeah, thanks. And I'm glad you're here. I appreciate this subject. This is a near and dear one for me. I love it. Dr. John Braccio, drjohnbe.com, on the web, Regional Psychological Services, East Lansing. Hey, Doc, we'll talk again soon, all right?
Okay, buddy. Bye-bye. Have a good week.
See ya. 1320 WILS. It's your morning wake up.